Hi, it's Carolyn the Contest Queen. I am trying something new tonight. I finally subscribed to StreamYard. So not only am I streaming on Facebook tonight, but I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitter. So I'm just going to do a quick tech check to make sure it's working, just to see. And let's see if it's working. So we will go check on Contest Queen. That's where you should find me mostly. And I seem to be live there. Great. Let's check Twitter to see if I'm live. Hello, Lisa. We have our first attendee. I'm very excited. And let's check on Twitter. I don't know how it works on Twitter. Hi, Linda. This is exciting. So we have one from Facebook and one from YouTube. This is so fun. I love this. Hi, Leanne. Okay, so I'm not sure how Twitter works. They used to show the live things, and now they don't seem to the way they used to. I don't know. They keep changing things. That's the frustrating part of technology. Hi, Sharon. And Sharon. We have two different Sharons. Janice, Bill, hi. This is fun. Okay, so in the third place was YouTube. Well, we already know we're streaming live on YouTube because we have a YouTube comment, so it's all good. I'm assuming everyone can hear me well. I usually do a better job of pre-promoting this event by in advance sending out reminders a few days in advance, maybe putting it in my newsletter, which I think I forgot to. Or no, maybe I did in my last one that I sent out. And I usually, and even promote on the day, hey, remember, join me tonight. But I have been really focusing on getting prizes everywhere written. So if you've noticed, I've barely been blogging. I forgot this month already to send out a newsletter. I sent it out a week late because I went, I think I completely forgot. So I've been focusing mostly on the book. I started doing it chapter by chapter, and I started getting really frustrated. So now I'm doing it kind of systematically. So I'm contacting everybody in the book that I need to do research for. So, for example, I put in the sweepstakes aggregates. So I email each and every single one of them, say, this is what we had in the last book. Do you want to be included? If so, does what we wrote last time need updating? And then I take all those and I update them, and I go back and forth until we're happy. I will not print anything unless they're happy and I'm happy. And so that way I know what goes out is accurate at the moment, because as we all know, the internet is ridiculously fluid and stuff changes instantly. So pretty much the moment I publish my book, it is already out of date. There's going to be one URL in there that changes. There's going to be one link that's, I point to something and then the software moves it to another spot. Just like Instagram's done, I've got to redo my Instagram basics video. And then there's an advanced video I want to do. And I have to do that because they've changed the platforms again. So let's see what is going on out in the world. Does anybody have any questions? Because this is a sweepstakes Q&A, right? So we want to have questions. We've just been saying hello. Oh, well, we have a winner. Sharon, she was at SeaWorld and they got the notification, and she is, she just popped on. Well, she's having a good time. Enjoy it. I love that place. Oh, I sent mine in. Lisa, okay, let me look and see if I can find it. Does Lisa said she sent me a question. Let's see if I can find it. Isn't that terrible? I don't know where it went. So let me just look. See, this is why I've been so focused on the book I haven't. Lisa, be kind enough to just post it again and I will answer it. So I would appreciate that. Thanks so much. I apologize. She says, is there something, some IG I should look for? Well, Instagram is starting to go crazy. I really should do the video this week because the 12 days of giveaways really starts December 1st. And then the 12th of December is the double day because that's the last day of all the ones that started on December 1st and the first day of all the ones that start on December 12th. So that's the overlap day. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then some of them are a month long. They call them the 24 days of giveaways, and then they run them from December 1st to December 31st. Who knows? But Instagram, one of the reasons I want to do a whole new, I have to turn down my screen level because when I show it, if I show my page here, you can see that it looks different than it did before. All the icons on the bottom have changed, right? We have home, we have search, now we have reels, and then there's shopping, and all your notifications and your ad, which used to be in the bottom center, and your messages are all now at the top. And actually, thankfully, they stopped using the arrow for at the top, and now your messages looks like a messages bubble. So it's all these little things. So I have to go now through 8 different features and make sure that everybody sees them. And now they've also added different things for the bio. It's different. So that's what they're doing there. And actually, I thought we would be able to broadcast to Instagram. I was hoping to do Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. No such luck. It's not one of the options. So Twitter it was. Ooh, Lisa says, I've been told I'm a conduit for energy. I'm finding that friends are winning some prizes. I've claimed like Helene Hadsell. Oh, she's claimed the prizes and they're winning. Ooh, that's interesting. I think my ex-husband was like that. I used to do all the entering and he would do the winning. Like his name would be picked more than mine. Now, thankfully, because we lived in the same household, I would share the prizes. But yeah, I always wondered that myself. I think what you're going to have to do is start doing some maybe meditations or affirmations that what is yours is yours. There's a lot of videos on Neville Goddard. And some of them are his actual speeches. So somebody's taken the audio of one of his speeches and made it a YouTube video. So you don't actually see Neville talking. You can just listen to it like a podcast. And one of the things he talks about is what you desire is desiring you. I find him completely fascinating. He was before Helene's time even. So he's not even someone that she would have hung around. So I think we all kind of come one after another. So people like Wallace Waddle wrote a book in 1900, and then and there was, I think, Florence Chauvel, I may or may not be pronouncing her name correctly, was around the same time as Wallace Waddles. You can also listen to her speaking on YouTube. Again, it's just the audio. There's no video of her. There are pictures of her on the video, like they're a placeholder. And then the next generation was people like Jose Silva, Dr. Joseph Murphy, Helene Hadsell. And then Hay House started a whole revolution in the 70s and 80s. And there's, dozens and dozens and dozens of amazing energy teachers. And then, and there's a whole bunch I've noticed of much younger teachers now, which I think is amazing. It feels like the younger generations are picking it up faster and faster. So that's kind of cool. So I would start using those. And Sylvia Brown used to do, I forgot to put your question up. Hello. So I got StreamYard. Helene Sylvia Brown used to talk about doing a bubble around yourself when you meditated. So you would, envision yourself like this with a light of either a type of crystal like rose quartz or hematite or something, and that everything you put out like love could easily go through. Anything anybody sends you, any energy anybody sends you like love and joy and happiness can come through. Anything negative they want to send your way, like the evil eye, bounces right off. So maybe do some searches on that. I just find that interesting. And you shouldn't. No, nobody should do anything. I'm on chapter like 3 right now. Kyle Cease has a book called The Illusion of Money. And it's about how you were a conduit for money and how it's an energy just like everything else, and you can let it flow through you. I think you might find his book fascinating. Like, I'm really loving it. He's got a ton of videos too. So, yeah, Leanne says, I like the old Instagram. Yeah, me too. But, we'll see how it goes. I'm just still playing around with it too. Okay, best way to keep track of entries and winnings. I just use a spreadsheet. If you go to contestqueen.com and you click on the 5 tips to begin winning, and then you click on step 1, at the very bottom of step 1, I put an annual spreadsheet. I should probably flip it over next week, like December 1st, for the 2021 year. I'll change it next week. Or you could just resave your 2021 and just use that. But I have a spreadsheet that I created, and it tracks everything: the date that you won it, what you won, who you won it from, where you won it from. So did you win it in Facebook? And so I have like phone in, mail in, internet. And then if it's internet, there's a subcategory. Did you win it in Facebook? Was it a regular entry? Was it, that kind of thing? And the dollar value. And did you get it or not? Like, so I used to track them. And if I got it, I'd put an X on it. That way, if I haven't seen something in a few months, I could go back and go, hey, I won that thing like 8 weeks ago. I haven't seen it yet. So I had something to call back on. I would keep the information until I got a prize, and then I would delete it because I just couldn't keep every notification. I've been doing this for almost 20 years. It would be ridiculous. So that's what I do. That's the winnings part. The entries I track by using RoboForm. You don't have to use RoboForm. I just find it the easiest. You could use your browser. Some people use their browser. Also, you can use, there's a program called SweepImp, or there is programs like in Sweepstakes Advantage or Sweep Atlas or Contest Girl. You have an option to save a sweepstakes as a favorite, and it kind of goes into your sweepstakes. So when you sign in and you go to your list, you enter those. I highly recommend that if you use any kind of tracking system, whether it's your browser or one of the other programs, you always do the ones that you have loaded in first and go through them. That way, when you go and add in new sweepstakes, you're not inadvertently entering yourself twice in one day. So imagine if you went in and you set up a whole bunch of new sweepstakes, and then you went to do all your sweepstakes. Well, would you remember, if you just added in, especially with Christmas coming, 25, would you remember which 25 you entered today and then added in? So always do the ones you have first and then add in the new ones, so you're not accidentally disqualifying yourself. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I just saw somebody put a good, Yeah, Vishen, she said Vishen interviewed Helene. I have that playlist on my YouTube channel if anybody would like to go and watch it. So Lisa says, I have been meditating and practicing positive affirmations. So this is where I have found that even I get stuck. Sometimes you have a subconscious belief somewhere, and that's why it's subconscious, that maybe you don't deserve the win, or it's not the right time, or something. Like I sometimes think, I buy lottery tickets, then I think sometimes, I know it's a crazy thought, yeah, I'm not going to win the big prize now, because if I won, $50 million, I'd be totally distracted from my purpose. My next book wouldn't come out. Really? Why would I? I'd go buy myself an island or something, just off I'd go, and I wouldn't do the work that I'm destined here to do. Or people wouldn't hear my message properly or something. So I have these two conflicting thoughts when I'm buying it. You have to be in the energy of absolute belief. That's why Helene won so much. She knew with every fiber of her being that prize was going to show up. And in her mind, it was already there. Like one time she even had her husband put in a counter attachment, like extend the counter and put like a place, because she was winning a microwave and it had to go there. So she's like, well, you might as well just get it ready now. So when it arrives, we can just put it there, and so you don't have to build it. So we did, and she won it. So she was a master at, ordering from the universe, like at a restaurant, and knowing that her order was going to show up. But a lot of us order and then we go, wait a minute, can I change my order? Like the kitchen hasn't even got the order yet. You keep calling the waiter back, or he gets back there and they start the order and you call him back and you change it, or you don't think the kitchen's doing their work. It's I think it's practice. I think it's practice to get to that stage. So try that. And let's see. Sarah says, first started entering Instagram contests. I won a lot. Wins have stopped. I've been receiving a lot of requests to be an ambassador. Just delete, delete, delete. I believe they're all scams. Yeah, they are. I get them too. I think when any platform gets really popular, the wins go down. There's a ton of contests on Instagram and Facebook. I think you have to be very particular about what you do. Tom Cavalli actually teaches a class on odds in Sweeper University you might want to take. It's really good. He explains how odds work and how to know if it's a better odds sweepstakes. If I see a prize on Instagram and I really want to win it, and I like the ones that are just tag a friend. I'm hoping that if people are entering like 25, 30 times, that they use the duplicate feature in the drawing software, because a lot of times it'll say remove duplicate users as an option. So when you go into the program to do the drawing, there's usually an option that says remove duplicate users. So if someone's entered like 50 times and you hit remove duplicate user, 49 of their entries disappear and they're in it once. So that is great because it eliminates cheating if that's what the rules were. Companies do like to say tag everybody, which makes me crazy, because those ones to Instagram's algorithm look a bit spammy. And, I think, who has the time to sit and enter 100 names for something that's worth $50? I enter maybe 5 of my friends, my little contest club, and that's it. And I figure if I'm going to win, I'm going to win. And I leave it. That's how I do it. Because I don't have the time for that. I would rather be entering something online or something creative that's going to eliminate a lot of people. Those are the ones that's good. Okay, so wait, I saw someone had a good question about let's see. Oh, back to someone said that Joe Vitale likes him too. Yes, Joe Vitale does like Neville Goddard. And I really like Joe. Helene loved Joe. And then I recommended his book in the back of her book when I redid it. And I sent him one and he sent me a message. And I wrote him a note in it. And I said, Helene loved you. So I wanted to make sure you were in her book. And he wrote me back and he goes, I miss her. I'm like, yeah, I miss her too. So he's a really nice guy. So Lisa says, what's the difference between announced in stories and tagged on Instagram? Okay. So one of the things companies are doing that they're not really, and funny enough, I actually happen to be on a call with WooBox today, asking them questions because I'm doing a proposal for a potential client. So stay tuned. We might be, if they hire me, we're going to be doing 12 days of giveaways. Really cool for everybody that has a cat or a dog. Exciting. I got my green tea. So that's really cool. So I was on the phone with them and I was asking them about the stories on the Instagram contest. They don't have it and they don't know anybody that does have it. So when they say share to your story for a bonus entry, they're just doing it hoping that you're going to share and more people are going to know about the giveaway. But because stories disappear in 24 hours, there's no way to track the stories. Just thought I'd put that out there. I tend to put it to the stories or share giveaways to stories because I have followers that love to enter sweepstakes, and some of the sponsors I absolutely love. Like I put my water tonight in the Starbucks reusable cup that Will Wong sent me. Love Will and his new little dog Beanie. So it's fun knowing people online, and I guess I've shared so much for him. He, I got picked to be he was allowed to send out, I don't know how many he got from Starbucks, and so he picked me. I mean, it's only a little thing. I don't know how much these are. And then I went to Starbucks and I thought, isn't that weird? They had reusable cups. I thought COVID had restrictions, and I took it in to get my drink. And they're like, yeah, we can't use it. We'll just give you the discount for bringing in your own cup. Like, all right. And I put it back in my bag and I took it home. So I'm just using it. I use it as a water glass because it's got a lid on it and I don't worry about it so much around my computer. So in a story, when you share a story, you have to tag the sponsor or they won't see it. And tagged on Instagram means you get tagged in the comments under the post. So then if you look in your little, see my little heart there? You see all that? Those are my notifications and tags on. Oops, I touched something. And then I look and I have all the notifications. So because I am hosting a giveaway on my blog, and then I turn around and I announce it on Instagram. I get a lot of people commenting on it. And sometimes they tag me in it. They go, oh, thanks, Contest Queen, for holding this giveaway. So I'll see it. I also see that they like the photo. And it's a good thing to check your notifications every day, because if a sponsor tags you in a comment under your comment saying, congratulations at so-and-so, you won, please DM us to claim your prize. If you're not checking your notifications, you won't win. And very early when Instagram came out and their sweepstakes were big, maybe this was about, well, it was in my last book, so maybe about 2015, and one of our club members didn't check her notifications and she lost out on a huge prize. So she learned her lesson, and then the next week she won something else and she had been checking her notifications. So it's really important to check them. I check them a little more frequently because I'm using it for work. But if I was a sweeper, I would just check them in the morning, like first thing to see anything that came overnight. And I would check them, say around maybe 4 o'clock, because you don't want to wait till 5 when businesses close. See if anybody's notified you, because think about it. Marketers work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Now it's more fluid now because so many more people are working from home and, its hours are shifting. But I hope that answers your question. Leanne says, I'm going to consider the spreadsheet. Forgot to save my memo and it got deleted. And I usually keep all my wins before writing them down. Oh no, that sucks. That sucks. Okay, let's see who else comment. Oh, I like this positive thinking. Michael says, I'm going to win one of the big cards in the avocados from Mexico sweeps. Good for you. I like that. Please message me when you win it. Oh, this is interesting. Lisa says, I packed my stuff to move into my dream home January 2020. I started listening to Bob Baker in July and manifested a home in 8 days. Wow. That is amazing. Yeah, if you're in alignment, you can manifest very, very quickly. Let me see. I saw some more questions. I'm still learning how to use the comment feature, but oh my gosh, it is so fun. Okay. Yeah, Sharon says, I've been sent a ton of fake win messages. What happened? And I did a YouTube video on this. Actually, I did a Facebook Live and then I uploaded it to YouTube. And I shared my screen when Facebook did their new format rollout. There is a ton of fake accounts. So what these companies are doing, or these scammers are doing, is they will go and they will copy a major brand. So the first one I saw, I think, was Meyer Cookware. And they set up a personal page, but call it like Meyer something. It's clear. Then they go under almost all the comments on the actual sponsors page and tell all the people that entered the contest legitimately, the real contest legitimately, that they had won. And come to this link. And then they do this whole scammy thing where they're like, yeah, give us your credit card and we'll send you your prize. Fake, fake, fake. Then you go and report it to Facebook and say they're pretending to be someone. But because they're pretending to be a business account and not a person, you can't tag it. And then Facebook usually has been coming back and saying, oh, we don't see anything wrong with this account. Really? How many people have they scammed? It is terrible. So Leanne says, oh, I didn't win a prize, but felt like I did. On Sunday, I had a hello experience. Pack delivered to me in person. Sure made my day. Oh, that's nice. Yes, abundance isn't just prizes. And that's one of the things that I talk about. Yes, Gary, I hate tag everyone. Me too. Like I said, I do 5 or 10. I think if it was a prize that I really wanted last year during the Christmas crazy, there was a couple I tagged 20 people. Like that might sound like nothing compared to some, but yeah, 20 was a lot for me. I'm like, wow, I really want this one. Oh, Brittany says, can we briefly talk about deceiving emails where it says, congratulations, you won our coupon code, or we have a winner, but it wasn't you. Okay, well, I wouldn't say they're deceptive in the sense of they're not a scam email. I tend to think of the word deceptive more scammy. So I would say they're bad marketing emails because the marketers don't understand that wording pisses people off instead of encouraging them to buy their products. What they should be saying is something like, thank you. Gratitude goes a long way. Thank you for entering our XYZ sweepstakes. And then you open it up and it says, we are very happy to announce that, Betty Lou won our big prize. You didn't win this time, but we know you are interested in our product and we are offering everybody that entered a 20% coupon. They should do something more like that. Gratitude goes a long way. And I think if they started thanking people more than using that language, they would actually see an increase in sales. But it is a good idea. I do recommend to marketing, like to clients, offer coupons or discounts to people that enter your sweepstakes, because a lot of times they're interested in your product and the timing might be right for them to buy, and or they might pass it on to someone they know. So I don't think it's a bad idea to send a coupon or a discount to sweepstakes entrants. I just think they need to work on their wording, maybe hire some copywriters. Oh, there you go. Michael wants to know if Lisa actually won the home. So Lisa, please answer me. Oh, here's one. Leanne says, what do you think about companies that tell you that if you enter and unfollow, you're unable to enter any previous contests? Well, I don't unfollow right away. So I tend to stay followed to companies for a long time, as they tend to have sweepstakes. I've never hit my 5,000 limit on Facebook. I don't know, maybe I don't follow enough, or I've unfollowed at some points. I recommend people do a lot of unfollowing in January of their emails and their, to clean up your email inbox, to clean up your feeds on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. There's a lot of programs that can help you do that. It's a good time of year, kind of like spring cleaning, but digitally. But I stay for a while because I know that companies are doing the giveaways because they want people to follow them. So I don't just wait till the giveaway's over and then unfollow. I've done it in a few cases when their feed was horrible and I entered, and it was mostly influencers, Instagram influencers, and there were, a few of them would get together and hold a giveaway, and I think, okay, I'll support another, entrepreneur, and I followed them, and I thought their feed is terrible, so I'd wait till it was over and then I'd unfollow. But I don't do that very often. If I follow somebody, I leave it for quite a while. But yeah, they also don't get the marketing. If they tell you that you're going to unfollow, then they need to be coming up with a different marketing strategy. If you're a blogger or a company and you're hosting giveaways and you get a ton of people following and unfollowing, you are doing something wrong. They should want to follow you and then stay followed. So you need to be doing a better job of marketing overall to retain, and you're better off having a smaller number of loyal followers than a large number of people that don't engage. Unfortunately, most people still always say, how big is your following? It's really quality over quantity to me. Gary says, who has time to watch stories? I actually watch them sometimes. I like Instagram lives when it's somebody that I like. I follow on my business account, my marketing account, my Idea Majesty account. There's a lot of speakers I follow and they'll hold lives and I'll go watch those. I love those. And sometimes they have them where they interview people and things and they'll have like the split screen, but because Instagram's long, they'll have them this way instead of this way. Like if I had somebody guesting here, we'd be, side by each, which I might do at some point now that I have this program, because I can have up to 10 people, which could get a little crazy, but let's see who else has got. Whoa. Yeah, I'm going slow and then I am answering. Yeah, everyone's saying so many fake accounts and Facebook does nothing. Yeah. And here's the other thing I was just talking to WooBox about. So when you're using a widget, they follow the promotional policies of the social media platforms exactly. Of course, they have to. That's what their job is. So like gating, as they call it, isn't allowed. However, how many contests do we see that say, hey, like my page, like this post, tag a friend, share the post? 3 of those are not allowed by Facebook. You got 4 entry options and only 3 are not allowed. So really, what's the point? They do that And then Facebook does nothing, because what Facebook does is says, hey, boost your post. And they boost the post and pay Facebook money to get a bigger reach. So Facebook's like, yeah, we're not going to clamp down on that. We're making cash. So of course they do nothing. Okay, so Brittany says, I hate it when a fake company account will tell me I won a prize when entered in the official account. They're so annoying and make me so mad. And they make me mad too, because you are clearly savvy, because you recognize it. I recognized it right away when it happened, and I saw that on the Meyer account. It was the very first time. And I did it on the day because I thought, oh my God, this is going to be bad. And sure enough, I've seen it so many times. I can't even count the number of times I've seen it since then. But how many people aren't savvy and will fall for that? And that makes me sad. And I don't know how to stop it. Oh, Beverly said she joined RoboForm yesterday. Yay. I think that means she signed up and subscribed to it. So that's fantastic. Ooh. Lisa says, my friend won the F-150 with all the upgrades from Grizzly. Wow. That would be something. I don't know if I can drive a truck. If I want a truck. So half of me would want to keep it because I won the truck. Oh my God, I got to drive it. And the other part of me is like, oh my God, this is too big. I can't handle it. So that's kind of funny. Oh, so she says, I love it when they interact with you on social media. The actual real sponsors or the fake accounts? I love it when the real sponsors interact with you. So there was one last week with Air Miles in Canada, and you were supposed to, it was Music Monday, and they were giving away like earbuds or something, and they wanted you to put your favorite song for, or your best song to describe 2020. And I said, it's the end of the world as we know it, because that's my age. And the person running the account said, hey, that's kind of negative. And I said, no, it is the end of the world as we know it. You have to look at it this way. I responded back and I said, think about it. Everything we've known is falling away, and it has to fall away for a new thing to emerge, right? It happens in life. We have spring and then summer and then fall and then winter and then spring again. Well, you can't have summer, 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 summer. It doesn't work. If you're in a climate where you have 4 seasons, you have to go through all 4 seasons, or the trees can't renew and the flowers can't renew and the animals, like everyone has a season. So I said, the old has to fall away so we can have the new. And I said, it's kind of like the song from, I think it was Semisonic, where they said, every new beginning is some other beginning's end. And they went, oh, wow. Like we went back and forth several times. And I said, oh, I never thought of it that way. So maybe I changed somebody's perspective over at Air Miles on the social media account. Who knows? But I love that when they interact with you. And I have to admit, sometimes I worry when I enter as the contest queen that they're going to see contest queen and they're like, yeah, we don't want to give her the prize. She's contesting all the time, even though I buy products and I'm a person and I like to have fun and I like to engage and I like to teach. You know, I wonder if sometimes they just see the name and go, no. Yeah, so Scott says, I know some sweepstakes say sweepers are to be disqualified, but you're right. If I got a coupon, I might use it. Yep. There is a blog post that Rafflecopter wrote once about stop hating the sweepers, and I love sharing that one. And I used to have, I still think I have the white paper. It was years ago, but the stats are going to be similar about how, I think it was ePrize that actually did the white paper, and it showed how sweepstakers actually bought more. So we were better spenders than other people. So support the sweepers because we spend money on the sponsors' products. See, Michael says, I bought Arm & Hammer laundry detergent only because they have a sweepstakes. Yes, my buying habits change too when it comes to sweepstakes. I've bought a lot of chocolate because there's so many of them, and they say send in the receipt. And, you know, sometimes I just don't have time to sit and write an essay for a 75-cent product. I'm like, I'll just go buy it. You have the product, you enjoy the product, and it's cheaper than the mailing. And sometimes it's email, but still, to the amount of time it takes you to write out the essay, you could have eaten the chocolate bar. Or we have another one for margarine right now. I bake a lot, especially Christmas coming. And it was on sale. It doesn't take, I'm in the grocery store anyway. It's easy. I just pick it up. I take a picture of the receipt. I get another entry. You know, it's so much easier, right? Oh, how can one keep up with all the follows for Instagram when there's a limit to numbers? Okay, I think you mean the number of people you can follow. Yeah, I clean up once in a while. So what I do is I go and see who doesn't post or accounts that I'm not interested in any longer, and then I'll just start unfollowing those. If you go and do, the other way to do it is you could do it every once in a while. If you did, say, 5 accounts a day, or you went through your stuff and unfollowed a few people a day, it wouldn't take long before, the end of the month. Yeah. And Leanne says, if the company's inactive, I usually unfollow. Yes. So for Twitter, I use Tweet Map, and for a free account, I think you could unfollow like 20 a day. And I go and find the accounts that haven't tweeted in 2 months or 6 months, and I unfollow those. So I find it Brittany says, I find it really obnoxious when a contest not only extends their end date, but when they double or triple their entries. Example, view this page daily goes from 100 entries to 100,000. So first of all, it's actually against the law, which most people don't know. You're not supposed to change a contest once it starts, and it should have official rules. So first of all, if a company's doing that kind of stuff, depending on how it is, I might even report them to the, if you live in the States, you report them to the Attorney General of the state, who is in charge of sweepstakes, because it's advertising, and advertising has laws around it. And in Canada, it's the Competition Bureau, and you can send them a note. And if it's open to Quebec, you can also send it to the Régie. Not that they do anything, but they might get a slap on the wrist or a letter or something. I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't enter. I don't bother with those companies. I'd rather bother with companies that actually do real things. Wait, let's see. It just jumped. Oh, Scott says, yeah, I miss OLS. It was easy to speed enter. So there are, like I said, some replacements. You can try Sweep Imp or Sweepstakes, Sweeps Atlas for that. Or I speed enter using RoboForm. Sign up for my shameless plug. Sign up for my RoboForm 101 class, and I'll show you how. Yeah, so for the fake accounts Leanne's referring to, they usually spell the name wrong or add symbols. Yes, so that's clear. You can always do some Googles. Here's a tip. If you're not sure if that's the real account or not, go to Google, type in the real brand name, go to their company website. They usually have all the social symbols at the top or the very bottom. Click on their Facebook or their Twitter or wherever it is, Instagram. You'll get the real page, and then you'll know right away if it's fake or not. Brittany says, not sure if you mentioned it yet, but what's annoying on Instagram is when a contest will say, go to this account, follow their instructions. Oh, that's called a loop giveaway. I hate those. If you go to my website, contestqueen.com, and in the magnifying glass, search loop giveaways or loop, just the word loop. You'll find the whole blog post I wrote on that. I wrote that when they first really started. There was one that had 60. I thought, this is insane. No, I don't enter them. I don't have time for that. The amount of time it would take me to enter that to win one prize, I could enter 50 other contests. No, thank you. You're not getting my info. Oh, Kay says, yeah, she likes the interactions with the sponsors too. Oh, see, I even have receipts on my desk I haven't done yet, and they might have expired already. Leanne says, I like the receipt contest. You won 600. Oh, well, good for you. Oh, Mary Jane says, love your hairstyle and color. Yep, this is what happens when you stop dyeing your hair because you can't get to the salon because COVID shut everything down. And then you're like, well, I might as well just be natural. This is it. So I luckily had, I was brown and I decided the dyeing was getting a bit much and I thought I'd go blonde for a while and then transition to gray maybe in like 10 years. That was the plan. And then, oh, I'm getting a bit loud. I'm pretty sure George is in the living room going, why is she yelling at her computer? So I always feel like I have to be loud to make sure that I'm heard. Maybe I should put in my headset anyway. It's kind of late for that now. So I took all the color out of my hair. I stripped it, all the brown. I made it blonde, and I was so happy. And then when I was due to go back, COVID hit, and then I didn't get a haircut or a color for 6 months. And then the hairdresser's like, I like the gray, just leave it. I'm like, all right. So he's just been cutting it. So I left it. And I'm going to get some low lights next time I go just to even it out a little bit because it's a little wonky. But yeah, pretty much. This is it. Why not? Like, you know, why do we hide our real selves? Like, this is it. This is natural. We should all just, you know, like who we are as we are. Oh, Lisa said I was going to say the same. Thanks, Lisa. Also, the post office loves sweepers, lots of stamps. Yes. Or the authors of sweepstakes books. I go like 3 times a week shipping out stuff. Lots of stuff costs me so much money. Packages are expensive. Scott says, I bought some very, very expensive sheets after seeing a sweepstakes from the company. Oh, but you know what? That probably was worth every penny because let's face it, most of us sleep. Let's say on average, if we sleep our 8 hours, which most of us don't, but let's say it's a third of your day is in that bed. We should have really good mattresses and really good sheets. That's what I think. Okay. Oh, I'm going slow here. Oh, let's see. Leanne says, I bought a ton of chocolate. I entered a contest where I mailed out entries. Lori says, I won something on Instagram, on Twitter for 2 different products. Then I made a purchase from them for Christmas gifts. See, we are good consumers. Someone told me Pepsi will disqualify you if you enter from a sweepstakes site. The last week I received a New England Patriots autographed football from a Pepsi sweep. Yeah, I don't think they do that. And also because the very first time you enter, you click on it and they track that traffic. But from after that, if you save it in your bookmarks, it's always coming from your. So how are they going to know? They're not going to track. I've been a contest manager. You don't have enough time to sit and dig through the files to see where people came from. Yeah, Kay says she tries to unfollow odd ones or inactive accounts. Yeah, so I use TweetSweep for Twitter. I haven't done any research lately for Instagram or Facebook. And the programs used to keep changing. Like I used to know the one for Facebook. You used to go and it would help you unfollow the accounts. And then those things change. So I don't know what the current one is. I'd have to do some research. It's a good tip. I should actually put that in my book. Oh, Beverly says, I signed up for the RoboFarm class. Yes, I saw that. We'll see you. Oh, no. Lisa says, I was a lifetime member of OLS, so I didn't have to pay for premium. Definitely bummed. Yeah, I've never heard from Brent again. So is it Sweeps Atlas or is it Sweep Atlas? You know what, Michael? Let me look. Let me see here. Let me see what comes up. It is Sweeps Atlas. So it's S. I don't know how I can put a comment onto. Oh, wait. Maybe I can post a comment. Let's see. Let me try this. This is new. So this is brand new software that I'm trying. So fun. Because so many. Okay, so I put that in the chat. Oh, cool. So it goes out to the chat on YouTube and Facebook. Ha! So there it is. Isn't that cool? I love it. So yeah, so I had the trial version last time I tried it. I wanted to see if it worked first. I didn't want to spend the money if nobody liked it, right? And everybody liked it. So now that I paid for it, it unlocked a whole bunch of features. And that seems to be one of them. That is so cool. Okay. So there you go. That was his answer. How do you pay for premium? Premium for, like, I paid to do this. Premium on what? Lisa, let me know and I'll answer. Oh my God, that has to be an Instagram one. Follow 101 people and then like the last 3 posts. They're dreaming. I'll do it. You know what? If it's a local company, there's one that's local in my town and it's 6 small businesses here and they're trying to drum up business for the community. And I thought, you know what? First of all, I'm going to enter all 6. And second of all, I might actually look them up and try and do local Christmas shopping because let's face it, the big box stores don't need more money. All the small businesses this year do. And so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm entering all 6 and I'm going to go check them out. Michael said, your face still looks young. Good. That's good. My grandmother's 101. I know. And when she wasn't, she has Alzheimer's now, but when I used to take her out to get her hair done and things, people would think she's my mom. So hopefully I have her genes. So Brittany says, although he was happy for me, my boyfriend made fun of me when I won $10 Amazon gift card recently. And he asked how much time I invested entering and how I could have made that money other ways much more quickly. Well, here's the problem. Sometimes you're the bridesmaid and not the bride. So many times when we win those smaller prizes, we're really entering for something much bigger. And you don't know which one of those is going to be the one. So why? He shouldn't make fun of you. So Leanne says, I just mailed out 22 envelopes to the States for a contest. Good luck. Robert says, did Sweetwater change their contest in the middle of it? Ooh, they shouldn't be doing that. It's showing a new game altogether. What gives? Yeah, I don't know that particular contest. They very well may have, and they shouldn't. Because if they have proper rules written by a lawyer, once it's set, it shouldn't be. Oh, Mary Jane says, what's this all about unfollowing accounts? So the reason we're talking about that, Mary Jane, is because sometimes we hit our limit to follow people on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or our feed is just so clogged that we want to start seeing certain accounts. And let's face it, companies stop using the platform, whatnot. We don't need those accounts in our account. So we just go in and follow the ones that aren't interesting, are dead, are, for a variety of reasons. Brittany wants to know, when a contest says, what does it mean when a contest, usually in Gleam, mean when it says promotion disabled, when it did not end on the end date? Oh, that means somebody didn't do their job properly and set the parameters of the contest right. So what happens is when you go on a Gleam, because I'm running one right now, or I do Rafflecopter a lot, you go into the program and when you're setting it up, it says start time and date and end time and date. So the big mistake a lot of them make is it's automatically defaulted for noon. So it's 11:50, or it says 12, like if I go into Rafflecopter, it says 12 o'clock a.m. So unless you go and make it 11:59 p.m., it's going to end the day before. Oops. So they made a mistake. So they're not checking their parameters. And the same in Gleam. You have to physically go in and select the date and the time it should end. And then the other thing too in Gleam, I noticed you actually have to pick the time zone. So if they don't correct it, they might be ending at 11:59 in Greenwich Mean Time, not Eastern Standard Time or Pacific Time. They have to watch their parameters. That's why. So the computer is just doing its job. You told me to end it here. Your rules say here. Oops. The computer's just doing its job. So it's how whoever set it up didn't do it right. That's all it is. And usually the problem is the time period of the ending early is so little. By the time you message the company and tell them they screwed up, they're like, well, it doesn't matter. It's finished now anyway. So then they don't bother fixing it. Oh, so Lisa says, thank you. I'm going to have more time come January to entry and hang out with my sweeps peeps. So let's see, what else we got? Oh, yes. Me. Hello, me too. Do you have limited time to enter sweeps? Any advice? Yes. Enter for what you want to win. I know that sounds like really obvious advice. But what I do is the ones that I enter every day are the ones that have an instant prize component, and then the ones for the prizes that I really want to win. And if I only have 10 minutes to enter, that's all I'm entering. I'm not going to go through all these other ones. Sometimes I'll scroll on the social ones. Like if I'm checking my notifications and I'll see those pictures are so small. Maybe I'm getting old. That's why I have reading glasses. These are prescription reading glasses. Then if I see a picture I like, I'll click on it and I might go enter that one. But that's it. I don't just, blast out there. Whoops. So I would just enter for what you really want to win. So again, focus. Like you said, you manifested. So what do you want to manifest? That's all you entered. That's all Helene entered. She'd be like, oh, I want to win this. And that's all she'd enter for. And she wouldn't enter anything else. Scott says he likes Sweeps Atlas. They do a lot of local and radio and TV ones. Yes, Bill, OLS. I'm not sure. Brent had a lot of issues. He was a recluse. And from what I can gather, I don't know actually the whole story. So what I'm saying is hearsay. This is like I heard it from somebody or somebody sent me a message. And I'm not 100% sure what really happened. But I think him and his girlfriend broke up. And he wasn't interested in doing anything with the website. And then everything just shut down. And he didn't bother renewing everything. And that's the end of OLS. He'd been saying that he wanted to update it since I met him. So, and it never happened. So I think it was sadly time for it to close. There's new programs out there. But that's one of the things I'm doing with my book. There's a bunch of resources that are gone. There's a bunch that have changed. And there's a bunch of new ones. So that's what I'm working on revamping. Like Sweeps Atlas is now going to be in the book. So I have to actually write his, I call it blurb, and send it out. And then I'm also including one of the new things. So my goal in this book is to rewrite it enough, like probably 75% of it's changing. So that the people that bought either the first two or one of the first two buys this one, because there's going to be enough new stuff in it. It's going to be worth their money to buy another book, because it's going to have like all the stories in the book are new. I'm adding some new chapters. I'm changing all the resources. I'm updating the whole social media chapter because hello, we just discussed about all the differences. Just things like that. Like I even wrote a whole new intro chapter because it's been 20 years since I've started entering. So I just needed a whole new chapter. So I'm revamping the whole thing. So many of the things in there, I'm ripping out and putting new. That's what it's like, I feel like I'm renovating a house and I've taken the whole thing down to the studs and I have a little bit of it left and rebuilding the whole thing. We watch those home shows in the morning and that's what it feels like. Oh, yes. Thanks for the reminder, Lori. Sweep Atlas will give you a 2 weeks free trial. So, why not? Yeah. So my goal for the book is I want to publish it on January 28th. So I'm hustling. Premium for this program is definitely worth it. But I recommend people do upgrade to the various websites or pay for the subscription because you're investing in your hobby. Everybody seems to think, I get so many people, and this I find frustrating, is the internet is free to log on. It doesn't cost you anything to go on Facebook. And it doesn't cost you anything to enter sweepstakes. Like you can just go on a sweepstakes, type in your name and address and phone number or whatever it is and enter. That doesn't cost you anything. The internet isn't free for the creators, right? So I pay for web hosting. I pay for MailChimp to send out my newsletters. I pay for Canva to create graphics. I pay my webmaster to maintain the site and create other graphics that are above my skill level. I just paid for a subscription to StreamYard so I can do these videos. At some point, I need to upgrade my lighting because I have some glare, but the problem is I can't get rid of my glasses or I can't see. I don't know what to do about that. And I have the blue coating on them because it helps me looking at the screen all day. But then it makes it terrible. Nobody can see my eyes properly. I don't know what to do about that. I'd like to upgrade this camera. I pay for my Dropbox for my storage, online storage. I pay for, there was another one I had. I use Hootsuite to do my social media marketing. All those things cost me money. So it's not free for me. And then when I get the book done on Amazon, then I order 100 copies, right? There's the last ones I did. There's some of the How to Win Cash Cards, Trips, More. Oh yeah, I always give away a book. So how about, I have some left. It's not completely out of date. It doesn't want to come out. I'm going to give away a copy of How to Win. Let's try to get them without the shiny. How to Win Cash Cards, Trips, and More. So everybody that comments, I'll put the rule. I always put the rules in after because to try and pre-type in the streaming software is a nightmare. So I'll just go to the last one, copy the rules, same. So everybody leaves a comment between, let's say, Monday. I usually do it for 5 days. So, by the weekend, if you're commenting on this, you're in the draw. And that'll give the people that can't watch live. Because, some people work. There's different time zones. Some people are making dinner right now for their kids, So I'll send out one of these and I'll be autographed. See, that's the other reason I need to update. I got to get new pictures. It doesn't look like me anymore, right? So the next book is going to be called Prizes Everywhere. And I've asked my web guy, because he's a graphics guy too. He did this one. And do I have one of the other ones? No, I don't have my first book. But he did both of Helene's covers too. He's really good. So I told him my next one, I want it to be purple. Because my very first book was supposed to be purple. But for some reason, I don't know what happened with the way that on-demand printing used to work in the past. It came out gray. So I had a gray book. It was like so unhappy. It was like the unhappiest book. Yeah, Lori said in Sweeps Atlas, you can hide sweeps you're not interested in entering. And Lori, you know what? I'm going to have you on here one day, and we'll have to do like a dual sweepstakes answering question, because she is like a queen of teaching. It has Embark, which is the same thing as Shazam was on OLS. Thank you, because I haven't played with it yet. That reminds me, I'll have to add that into the blurb. Okay, says, you can exclude me as I just won your book. Yeah, but that's okay. You won a different book because I gave out Helene's book, the Name It and Claim It game, right? This is the one you won. Oh no, I just spilled all my stones. But I'm giving away this one this time. So you can enter, or was it in Contact with Other Realms? I don't know. I should give a different book each time. It's more fun. It is a good book. It has one of the other things I'm taking out is I decided things like this, right? Like I decided, like I have all the lotteries, in the thing when I talk about lotteries. And I thought, you know what? No one wants to read lists. We're too much online now. I'm literally all the lists and everything. I'm moving to my website. So I'm creating all these pages in the book, it'll say, here, go and reference this page. That way, as URLs change, there's going to be less errors in the book because everything's online. And if things change, I can quickly change them on my website without, this is 4 years old now, right? So as stuff changes online, if there's a list or a link, I can change it on my website. So it's another reason. Oh, are there key words you look for? Or do you read along entire? No, I don't. I learned to scan. So I do mention this in the book, and I'm going to mention it again. So the best way to scan the rules is I look for, when does it end? I look for an end date. Okay. Because if it's already over, I don't stop reading. Because companies don't always take them down right away. So when does it start? Just make sure, because sometimes they post them early. And then if you enter, you shouldn't be in, but they might keep you in. I don't know. So when does it start? When does it end? Then I look for, who's it open to? So I, living here, am looking for open to Canada or Ontario, but you have to look for where you live. Or sometimes it says within in Canada, so many kilometers of Toronto. So if it's a local and they have to deliver, there's only a certain radius that they'll deliver to. So you have to look for that. So when does it start? When does it finish? Who's it eligible for? And then what do I have to do to enter? Those are the first 3 things I scan for. And then I go back and enter. And how many times can you enter? So is it one time only? I love those because I'm so busy. I just throw in an entry. Oh, I shouldn't shake. I have my elbows on the table and it's shaking the camera. It's one time only, so I can just go through and enter a bunch and then I forget about it. So that's what I look for. So those are the things you should scan for quickly. Oh, Brittany was asking, how many books do I have? I have 5 that I wrote. So I don't even have some of my first books up here. Isn't that a shame? So I'll show you I've got 2 out, and I have this one, and I have 2 more coming, 3 more coming. So I have right now up here. So you can't win if you don't enter. I guess I should bring one up here. I have 2 editions of that. So when I first started writing my very first sweepstakes book, I thought I was going to write 1 book. And then as I started doing research, I started realizing the hobby in the States was different than it was in Canada. And this was 2004 that I started researching this. And then in 2005, I discovered there was sweepstakes conventions. So I went to my very first sweepstakes convention. It was number 16, and it was the annual National Sweepstakes Convention held in Moline, Illinois. And I thought, oh my God, it was amazing. I tell the whole story. Go read my free intro chapter that I posted. I posted a link on Facebook. You don't have to scroll for it. It looks like a big PDF because I don't even have the web page up yet. It's just straight to the free PDF. You can go read the free intro chapter, and I talk about my experience at my very first convention. So I didn't know enough about the hobby at the time. So I wrote a Canadian book called Can't Win If You Don't Enter. And that was the one that turned out gray, not purple. And then I wrote a blue one 2 years later. It came out called You Can't Win If You Don't Enter. And it's an American edition. So those were my first 2 books. Then I intended to write another book. And then I went through a huge, long divorce that made me very sad. And I actually even lost a book deal. I had won a book publishing deal, and I was so sad. I cried it away. Isn't that terrible? So I finally picked myself up and dusted myself off. And in 2016, so huge gap, 8-year gap. And of course, the hobby had changed so much by then. But I'd also learned so much. I was able to take the how the Canadians enter and how the Americans enter and smash them together. Because 80% of it's the same, and there's just a little bit of difference. So I knew how to put both of those differences in the same book. So I made one second edition called How to Win Cash, Cars, Trips, and More. So now my third edition, which is technically my fourth book, is going to be called Prizes Everywhere. And in the meantime, in 2008, Helene Hadsell asked me, she said to me, you need to be teaching spec, maneuvers for witchcraft. She says, I'm not going to teach it anymore. And then I did nothing with it. Again, went through that whole divorce. So what sat was this book and all her stuff. I did nothing. So I finally got the courage to call. I called her son last year and about this time of year, and he agreed to let me republish her book. And then I started taking Mel Robbins' Best Decade Ever. Boy, did that ever go south fast. But it gave me the courage to ask Dyke to actually buy the rights to her stuff, because I said to him, my fear is if you die, her work dies with you. And her original intent was to have her grandchildren take it over, but apparently there's a rift in the family and none of the kids want it. So literally, if I didn't buy it, this would die with Dyke. We can't have her work die with Dyke. It was too important. And so he trusted me with his mother's stuff. So I bought the rights and I did the book, and I tried to keep her integrity as much as possible in here. I even kept her font fairly close. So what I write, I didn't even use. So when I write a story in the book, it's one font, and then you go to her stuff and it's a completely different font. I tried to keep it as close to the original work as possible. He was so pleased with how I've taken care of her stuff. So her last book was this cover on this one, front and back. And then this is how good my graphics guy is. This is the new cover. And look at the back. He's just so good. And then this was In Contact with Other Realms. That was the book cover. And this is what he did with it. How stunning is that? So good. I love my guy. I just basically tell him, hey, you go, you make it pretty. Here's what it needs to have on it. Like, here's the title, right? Like hers says second edition. Here's the title. Here's the subtitle. Here's her, then updated by me. That's what has to be on the front. Go make it pretty. And that's what he does. And I gave him the back copy. And then he just designs it. It's fantastic. I love him. He's great. He does such good work. Anyway, so those are my books. That's the history of my books. So now I'm doing Prizes Everywhere. I have two more of Helene's to do. One is called Confessions of an 83-Year-Old Sage. And one is A Man Called Friday. I was going to do this one next, but it's got some of the same stories in it as In Contact with Other Realms. Not. But this is her only fiction story. It's a parable, kind of like The Alchemist, right? That whole story, beautiful story, is actually a parable. So this is one that she wrote. And so I'm thinking this might be, so if you go to ideamajesty.com, I have all the books listed because these aren't sweepstakes books. I couldn't let them live there. I had to build a whole new home for it. So these three books are going to live just on that site. And I have, if you're interested in those ones, if you go to ideamajesty.com and click on books, all of them are listed there. And those 2 pages are already up and they have a sign up. And so when I publish, I'm going to email everybody that signed up to let them know they're ready. And I'm working on doing the same thing for Prizes Everywhere. So that's where we're at with the books. Okay, we're way over an hour, so let's see. Branka says, hi, Carolyn, looking good. How do you feel about contests that have popped up where Twitter wants to take over your account, follow, unfollow? Ooh, I don't know that one. That doesn't sound so good. Yeah, I'd probably back out of those too. Oh, I know which ones. You know what? It's the same thing with Facebook. I enter them because I make my account for sweeping. So I'm like, yeah, okay. And who are they going to find? Other sweepers. So if they post something on my page, it's only going to find more sweepers. So I kind of don't care because that's kind of the purpose of my site. Oh, Lisa, you're so funny. I shall give Carolyn my address in case she wants to send me all 5 books for Christmas. And I'd appreciate snow for Christmas in Florida. I'm kind of waiting till our borders open and it's safe to travel because I would love to come. I have so many people I know in Florida. I think the Sweepstakes Advantage people live in Florida. I Win Contest lives in Florida. Sweeps Atlas lives in Florida. I have so many sweeper friends that live in Florida. I could just go hang out for a month and couch surf. I tell you, it would be so much fun. I could do like a Facebook Live every night with somebody. Oh my God. Just like when I did it with Joanne back last February when we were still, okay. Yes. Gratitudes for giveaways. Ellen says, are you seeing less contests this year? Oh yes. Way down. I think they're going to start coming back as things change and companies are looking for new ways to. It's funny because some companies are just exploding with business and other businesses are just tanking. It's very interesting. Yes, I like this too. Plus with one time, no one has a better chance than anyone else. Yep. Okay. And yes, I am a busy lady, Kay. Yep. So yeah, that's why I haven't been entering. So then part of me gets scared and I go, okay, right now, if I'm not entering and I'm focusing on writing a book, I'm not going to be the contest queen if I don't win anything. I did a wee unboxing when I won the cup and the Starbucks gift card. And I actually took a fellow author out for coffee, which was great because she gave me some good tips. Oh, I got to remember this table's shaky. Look at that. That's the other thing. I want to upgrade my camera, get a tripod, get a box light, and eventually upgrade my laptop so I can maybe do video editing. I want to up my game because I think I want to be teaching more on this platform, not just necessarily Facebook Lives or YouTube Lives, but just as a whole. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And so I'm not entering. And someone said, well, you're just winning small stuff. Well, of course I'm winning small stuff. I'm not really entering anything. So that's when I don't feel like I'm the contest queen. But I seem to be shifting more into a teacher, but the hobbyist in me just misses. And who doesn't love winning? Oh my God, I love it. Oh, see, Lisa says Siesta Key Beach rated #1 in the world. Come on down. You know what? Sandbell Island's on my bucket list because it's my favorite place in the whole world is right where the ocean meets the sand. And apparently I could seashell hunt all day. And they have it's one of the world's best beaches for seashell hunting. I could stay all day there. So I think we are done. Oh, wait. Let's see. Do you feel positive energy when you dined with Helene? Oh, my gosh. I'll tell you, the energy that Helene gave off was so strong. By the third day, I had such a headache. I couldn't even, it was like my energetic system was being fried out from her energy. She was just like, it was like being in the same house with like an electrical conduit. Like, how you're saying, Lisa, you're a conduit. Boy, Helene is a conduit. Holy moly. I had such a headache. I could hardly be around her. She was just like, I can't even explain it. She was amazing though. The one story, I should put this one in my book. It was so fun. Actually, I did put it in the Name It and Claim It game after I took her to a Sweepstakes meeting. And they couldn't believe that Helene Hadsell came to the Sweepstakes meeting. And then afterwards, we were driving back from this place. And it was actually dinner time. And I saw a sign that said frozen custard. And I'm like, what's that? I've never had frozen custard. And she goes, oh, it's like ice cream. I'm like, oh, I want to have some. So here she is. She's like at the end of her life, she was 2 years before she passed away. And so she used a walker. So I had that in the back of the car. And she sat there, and the two of us, we went through the we went into this frozen ice yogurt custard place, and I bought custard, and we sat in the car giggling like teenagers eating this frozen custard. It was like one of my best memories. And yeah, that was our dinner. She was so fun. I wish there was some stuff. Like, the problem is with our lives, I feel like I'm mature enough now at 53 where I wish I would have been, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, because I think I would have asked her better questions. Like the questions so if I had gone and stayed with Helene now, the questions I would have asked her and the things I would have been paying attention to are totally different, right? That's, hindsight's 2020, right? But unfortunately, she's gone and I can't ask her. But I do have an intuitive girlfriend that says she's hanging around me all the time and she loves what I've been doing with her stuff. So thank goodness that's there. So, yeah, see, I'm so glad you can feel her energy. Brittany says, I always get excited whenever I win anything. I'm dying to win a phone, though. I know my time will be soon. Yes. If any of you haven't done it yet, go to my Good Vibrations. Go look on Facebook for the Good Vibrations Sweepstakes Club, and it is so fun. I post positive stuff there only. And it's funny, my rule in the club is it's not for sweepstakes. You're not supposed to post sweepstakes there. It's just for good vibration things. So I post a lot of videos and talks, and I do different chats. And then I found out Colette Baron Reed was having a giveaway. So I posted it because it's a good vibes woo-woo contest. Part of the prize, and it doesn't come up in the share. I don't know why. I can't get it to post the picture, but the t-shirt says, don't poo-poo the woo-woo. I'm like, I want that t-shirt. Anyway, what was really cool was I was reading the rules and it had her address, so I mailed her a book. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so I have that book. There was one thing. Oh, yeah. So here, I'm going to give everybody one last thing before we go. So one of the things I did in the last video with the Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club is I did angels and guides, because we have them around us even though we don't feel it sometimes. And I had two of Doreen Virtue's decks. But Doreen Virtue, I don't know. I don't want to say anything negative about her, but she went a little bit crazy and denounced all her cards and all that work and whatnot. And I just wasn't really comfortable with her card decks anymore. So I actually sold them to people that collected cards. And I bought two new decks. I bought this to learn, and I bought a tarot book because Helene Hadsell used to use tarot cards all the time. Now I'm going to get some other ones too, but this was on sale, and there's Colette Baron Reed, the one that I talked about. So I have her, the Good Tarot. So and the illustrations are beautiful. So I'm slowly learning the tarot, just like Helene did, because I want to channel my inner Helene. And I bought this really new, beautiful angel card deck from Kyle Gray. And what I did was in the Good Vibrations is I pulled a card for everybody. And a lot of the times, if you follow those kind of speakers, they talk about, they'll do readings and they'll pull cards and things. Okay. Oh, wait. I just saw some good news from Michael. He posted, I was going down to my car tonight, looked out the window, and saw a FedEx truck parked in front of my neighbors. It's like, oh, your heart sinks. And then he thought, what are the odds? Bang, it was a sweepstakes stream for me from Velveeta. Yummy. That's so funny. Oh, Janice says, I'm on your Good Vibrations. I also love reading all the winter stories. Yeah, so that's where we just share wins and stuff. And I'm going to start now, this program, I can stream to the group. So I'm going to do something soon. But December, I didn't really book anything because so many people are busy. I mean, I know with the lockdowns, depending on where you live, because everybody's got different rules. some people are visiting family, some are not. So there is some people have more time, but the sweepstakes, I think, are still going to be busy this year. So I planned no classes for December. My last virtual club meeting is December 1st. If you want to join, just look at my Facebook page. There's two places you can find events. If you go to my contestqueen.com, we finally added the calendar to my main bar because nobody could find the calendar. And then on my Facebook page, if you click on events, every couple of days I post the next one of something, because the way Facebook does a feed, if I posted all the events I've already booked on the calendar that I have on my website, it would just clog my Facebook page. It's very strange. So I don't post everything all at once. So there's more on the calendar on my website than there is on the Facebook page. So my last show I did was on angels. Anyway, I love Kyle Gray. You can go follow him on Facebook or Instagram. He did a beautiful Instagram live the other day where he did some chanting with some singing bowls and read with crystals and stuff. It was very cool. Anyway, so I bought his angel card deck. They had a sale at Hay House. And I'm like, okay, I can't turn this down. So I sold 2 decks and bought 2 decks. So I broke even because I got free shipping. So anyway, I shuffle a few times and then I knock. And I basically, my intention is, what is the message this particular group needs to hear today? And we got, such a beautiful card. I'm going to hold it. Let me see if I can get it without a shine. Power and intention. Stunning card. So then they include a little book, and then what you do is you go find it. And I'll read this and then we'll end the video. So the message is, when you align your intentions with the highest good and act with love and consideration, your power is intensified. This might be the answer Lisa was looking for. When you draw this card, your angels are drawing close to remind you of this. You have the capacity to be a leader and guide at this time, and you're being encouraged to align with love and the highest good so that you act from the heart. Often when power arises within, we can find our ego gets louder, and this is because it wants us to be limited and to question or even stifle our growth. Don't let it hold you back now. Call in your angels and invite them to help you listen closely to the voice of your soul, that you can move forward powerfully, effectively, and in a loving way. Oh my gosh, how cool is that? Love this. So yeah, the artist he has for this is spectacular. So that's a great way to end it. So yeah, so that's a little plug for my Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club group. And I do different things. So I started booking things for the new year because, things are going to get busy and we don't want to do, Denitra, I am doing a free in the Good Vibration Sweepstakes Club class on January 4th, I think. Hang on, I don't remember the date myself. That's terrible. Let me go look. It is on, of course the computer's slow when I need it to go fast. I'm doing a 10-day miracle challenge. So I did this earlier, and it's from, I learned it from Mitch Horowitz, okay? And it is on, January 4th. It's called Jumpstart Your Year with this free Good Vibes event, and it's a 10-day miracle challenge. So you just have to be a member of the Good Vibes Club, because that's where I'm going to be streaming to. And it's really fun. I have a link to the video. You can Google it, 10-day miracle challenge. And he did an interview with Michael Sandler on this too. And it was so fun. The last one I did, for me, I wrote, my goal was a $100 prize. And I think within 5 days, this showed up. I won a $100. I don't know which way I'm holding it. I won a $100 prize. So it worked for me. Exactly what I manifested it in half the time. So it's really cool. And other people did manifest what they were doing. And you don't have to wait till then. I mean, you can start one now. I've had other people mention on the original video I did in the Good Vibrations Club that they had just started. They're like, oh, this is a great idea. I'm just doing it now. So you don't have to start at a particular time, but I just thought it'd be such a fun way to start off the new year. And I do vision boards, and I watched the Ocon brothers did a talk on vision boards. I should go and share their YouTube video. And then Michael Ocon showed his, and his brother doesn't do them. He just writes out his goals. And one brother does vision boards, and his stuff comes true. And the other one does it a different way, and his stuff comes true. But I saw Michael's vision board, and I thought, oh, I really need to step up my game. Vision board, it was spectacular. So yeah, if you're a member of the Good Vibrations Sweepstakes Club, then you'll see that. So okay, so now that I've been on for an hour and a half, I cut this off because I'm tired. And then I'll put up the rules. Yeah, because now I got to go and put all the rules in. So that's it. Until next month. Actually, we probably won't have one in December. I'll just see how it goes. I might play with the software some more. So maybe in the middle of the year, I'll do it. Lisa said, it's so good being with fellow sweepers. Come to the club meeting December 1st. We're having a virtual club meeting on Zoom. And then yesterday, someone was posting that they were thinking of hosting them. And I told her I had them. So she's looking at her calendar to make sure hers don't conflict with mine. And then she said she would tag me because I want to go to her. So there's going to be a couple of different groups holding virtual contest club meetings. So it's so fun. So it's another great way to hang out with people. And I think that's it. Yes, thank you, Branka. That's so sweet. As that's my intention, is to send good vibes out to everybody. Winning vibes. I love hearing about wins. And we'll see what happens. Oh, just a lot of fun information. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Good night, everybody.